Hold on, sweetheart.
Push me, Papa, push me.
Dad, are you okay? Somebody call 911.
Your heart is not going to be able to support your weight for another 10 years, or even 5 years for that matter. If you want to be around to see your grandchildren grow up, I'd suggest you make a change, and it needs to happen quickly.
Being moments away from death and clinging to life in front of all my friends and family, especially my 4-year-old granddaughter, is a horrifying moment I'll never forget. Hi, my name is Jonathan Harris, and the story I'm about to share with you next would almost cost me my life and nearly tore my family apart. But by the grace of God, I've been given the strength to share this story with you today, because what happened next after our tragedy not only saved my life, but the lives of over 118,427 men and women, and could save your life as well, which you'll soon hear has nothing at all to do with changing your diet, lowering your salt intake, exercising more, or taking another dangerous prescription drug. Unearthed by a team of research scientists halfway around the world studying an ancient Japanese mountain village, a village renowned in the medical community for having the healthiest and oldest living people on the planet. An all-natural 10-second morning ritual, so simple you can do it right now sitting at your kitchen table, and so powerful it will easily pry open stiffly closed blood vessels and lower blood pressure within minutes. And after months of empty hope, filling my body with different medications and dealing with their crippling side effects, in just weeks slashed my high blood pressure by over 37 points, eventually settling at 118/64, and stunning doctors so much that numerous local television crews reached out for our story, and thousands of people desperately looking for a solution flooded my inbox, demanding to know their secret and how I did it. Even my wife Jackie, whose doctor had been warning her for years about her mild hypertension, saw a huge difference after just 1 week of doing this simple morning ritual, eventually dropping her blood pressure down to 121/72, and staying that way, no doubt, because the more you do it, the more it works. And the best part about it all is that we never changed a single thing in our day-to-day lives. No dieting, no exercise, no risky prescription drugs, or overly priced GNC supplements. And yet, as crazy and as unbelievable as this might all seem, it's entirely possible with this oddly simple and practically ancient 10-second morning ritual that will flip everything you thought you knew about lowering blood pressure and protecting your heart completely on its head. You see, high blood pressure is big business. In the United States alone, Americans spend upward of $131 billion treating hypertension. So those in power want you to keep believing you need their drugs and their help. But here today, in this short video, I'm going to do what many others have advised against, and I'm going to blow the lid off the big hypertension lie that's slowly damaging your heart, clogging the filtration process in your kidneys, erasing your most precious thoughts, and causing your eyesight to decay. Yes, that's how far-reaching high blood pressure can wrap its tentacles around and squeeze the light out of your future. That's why in the next 2 minutes and 33 seconds, I'll reveal the mysterious real root cause of your hypertension and America's epidemic with this silent killer. And you'll learn why it's virtually impossible to get your numbers under control unless you fix this one underlying problem. It's a revelation confirmed by the strictest peer-reviewed studies found in the American Journal of Hypertension, the International Journal of Cardiology, Harvard Medical, plus more, and has been intentionally kept secret from you, your doctor, and the entire Western world. I promise the beautiful simplicity of this morning method will bring a smile to your face, yet could also make you screaming mad when you see why it works so well. A weird ritual hidden for thousands of years that's now seeing the light of day. It's something you can do every morning to open your blood vessels and release the pressure in your arteries. A foolproof, safe shortcut that's far removed from anything you might have heard or tried before. It helped me, my wife, and over 118,420 other moms and dads, grandmothers and grandfathers who have battled hypertension for years, finally take control over their health, and more importantly, are forever free from depending on others, medical visits, hospital trips, medication, nursing homes, and more.
When I asked my doctor about this ritual, he said it wouldn't do anything for my high blood pressure. But he was wrong.
You know, I really enjoy doing this morning ritual every day, and it actually works.
Well, one of my colleagues sent this to me, and when I first saw it, I was definitely skeptical, and I needed to make sure the research was sound.
In just 2 weeks, my numbers have dropped by 15 points, And I still can't believe how easy it is.
It's easy, it's fun, but what I love best about it is it's 100% natural, which means it's healthy.
But I'll be the first to admit, this morning ritual is the real deal, and I've even lowered my own blood pressure doing it.
I won't have to take any more medication. And best of all, I know I'll be around for my family when they need me.
My blood pressure is lower, it gives me energy and stamina, and I love what it's doing for my circulation. Overall, I just feel 10 years younger.
I can't thank you enough, John, for sharing this morning ritual.
It's simple, it's all natural, and it works.
Incredible. It's amazing how far our story has spread, and the thousands of men and women from all over who've experienced the same results. Now, you may still be skeptical, yet I just ask that you watch the remainder of this quick video and enjoy this life-saving, powerful 10-second habit, just like Jackie and I do every morning. And I pledge to you, as God is my witness, you'll experience the same natural relief. Whether you're a woman or man, whether you're severely hypertensive, pre-hypertensive, or mildly hypertensive, whether you've been on drugs for 2 months, 2 years, or 2 decades based on the research, it doesn't matter. Even if you believe you've seen it all and tried it all before. However, I promise you and your primary care doctor have not heard about this previously hidden breakthrough for lowering high blood pressure, which has become an epidemic that hasn't received the recognition it deserves because big business controls it all. So believe me when I tell you that they don't want me to share this video with you because what you're about to hear could cripple their business and send their lobbyists scrambling down to DC to do something. They want you sick for life so you can be their customer for life. That's why I can't keep this up for long at the risk of getting in trouble. They're way more powerful than little old me and my family. So please, lean in and pay attention because we don't have much time, and I'd hate for you to come back only to find this life-saving information was taken down. Instead, you'll go about your day still enjoying your favorite foods and still enjoying life completely guilt-free as you continue on with your most beloved hobbies and activities without holding yourself back or slowing down. What's better is you'll always have the strength to keep up with your children and grandkids. Plus, never be forced into alternate care because you can no longer take care of yourself. You'll remain the strong, independent husband or wife, mom or dad that your family has come to expect and lean on when they need you the most. You'll feel healthy on the inside and look even healthier on the outside. Once you capture your runaway high blood pressure with this simple 10-second morning ritual that triggers a flood of circulation to your extremities, healing blood flow to your heart, plus boundless energy you'll feel the minute your eyes open in the morning. All the while, your hypertension numbers return back to better than normal, even if you're on medication or not. It's time to free yourself from high blood pressure prison. Are you ready? It sounds too good to be true, but yes, this really is that simple and easy to enjoy. Hey there again, it's me, Jonathan. But you can call me John. Now, I'm not a doctor by any means. I'm not a dietitian, trainer, or even a medical researcher. I'm just a normal person like you. I'm a 56-year-old retired EMT, a husband to my wife Jackie, father to Jesse and Jamie, and grandfather to the sweetest little girl you'd ever meet, Olivia. And over the years, I've been up on the front lines of some of the worst natural disasters to have hit our country. I've witnessed people pass away in my arms while saving many more. And I tell you this because despite saving thousands over my long career as an EMT, I failed to protect my family from the worst disaster to ever hit us. And in the end, failed to save myself from tragedy. This is hard for me to share, but leaning on our faith is what got us through, so I can tell you our story, along with the revealing truth about high blood pressure that I promise will be music to your ears as you breathe a sigh of relief that real hope and real answers are right around the corner for you. Looking back, you could say the entire story started a few years ago. You see, we were the typical family. I was busy with my job, and Jackie was busy with her career as a teacher, and our 2 daughters were off living their lives. Life was great, and we never had given our health a second thought because on the outside, we seemed healthy. Jackie and I loved to hike and swim and be active. We didn't smoke and rarely drank. We ate healthy most of the days of the week, and we indulged on the weekends. But during this time, I began to feel less than myself, and the stress of my job was starting to get to me. I began having less energy. I would get tired faster, and by the end of my shifts, I felt completely wiped out. This coming from a guy who ran 5 marathons in his life and took pride in his health. Then one day I had my annual checkup with my doctor, and everything changed. I walked in believing I passed all his tests with flying colors, but when he took my blood pressure, his eyes lit up. He said, "John, have you ever had your blood pressure taken while on the job? It's 158 over 89 right now." And I said, "No, never." "Well, listen, because of your medical training, I'm going to give you the chance to get your pressure under control before we get you on meds. But I urge you to cut down the sodium from your diet, exercise more, eat healthier, and maybe lose some weight. And watch the stress, it'll kill you, he said emphatically. And with that, I left his office and went back to work believing my high blood pressure would work itself out on its own. Yet little did I know that was the beginning of our horror story that I never wish on anyone, because despite being a non-smoker, a healthy weight, and even cutting back on my sodium, my high blood pressure barely came down. So I put it out of sight because after all, I was set to retire in a year. I figured once I stopped working, everything would just return back to normal. But little did I know all the damage my high blood pressure was doing, and the vice-like grip it had on my body was getting tighter every day, eventually turning my heart into a ticking time bomb that was set to go off and explode during the absolute worst day of our lives, and when I least expected it. See, it was a brisk Saturday morning, and all of our closest family and friends were gathered at our house for my 4-year-old granddaughter's birthday party. I finally had a day off and really wanted to enjoy my time with everyone, especially since this was the first time we'd all been together in years. Throughout the day, though, really starting from that morning, Jackie and I had been having a disagreement over something. I can't even remember what it was about, because that's how silly the whole thing was, but as the day went on, and as many of you can probably relate to, instead of making time to sit down and talk about it, we just ignored each other, and the tension between us grew more and more. We put on a nice smile around everyone, but the moment we were alone, we went at it and argued with one another until I finally got so worked up that I decided to distance myself and walk us outside to cool off. I found Olivia and suggested she'd go out and try her new tricycle I put together and take it for a spin. We walked outside and she excitedly asked me to push her. I gave her a slight push, and then all of a sudden I felt my chest begin to tighten and start pounding. My breathing got heavier and heavier. I was only able to take a few steps, then I fell to my hands and knees, and that's the last thing I remember. When I finally came to, I was so confused and my head was throbbing. Where am I? Where's my family? I must be dreaming, I thought to myself in confusion, but no, it wasn't a dream. That's when the ER doctor came in. When he rolled you in, your blood pressure was 215/110. That's deadly high and explains why your heart finally gave out. We discovered one of your arteries was 95% blocked, so we had to go in and clear it out. You're lucky to have had so many first responder friends around you to whisk you away. You're very fortunate to be alive, and moving forward, you're going to need to be on multiple antihypertensive medications to control your blood pressure and prevent this from happening again, he said with a stern look on his face. Well, that's when Jackie burst into the room with tears rolling down her face as the kids followed behind her. You see, hearing those words from the doctor felt like daggers, but for me, the worst part about it all was having my family, which should have been celebrating my sweet granddaughter's birthday, see me in that bed, kept alive by beeping machines. The worried look in their eyes was like a knife piercing my heart. I was supposed to be the strong one, the protector, yet I lay there in that hospital bed completely helpless and feeling weak. I mean, this whole time I knew I needed to make a change, but I didn't know what to do, and now I had to take these meds that I was deathly afraid of because I knew all about their side effects and their statistics. Everything from extreme fatigue, dizziness, blindness, constipation, and even death for one common drug, lisinopril. There have been over 406,178 severe side effects recorded, and according to the National Institutes of Health, the most commonly prescribed hypertension drugs don't work for over 52% of the population, and they could even increase your risk of suffering a major cardiac event. As I lay there over the next few days, staring at the TV like a vegetable, seeing endless big pharma commercials pushing new and breakthrough blood pressure drugs, I began to grow angry. Angry because despite the happy faces in the commercial, I knew the harsh reality. None of those treatments are meant to cure you. They're designed to turn you into a hamster on a wheel. You depend on big pharma for your prescriptions every month, but never really get your health back. My anger soon turned to sadness as I started to think about my poor wife Jackie. The only future I could imagine for us moving forward was shuffling between doctor's appointments for the rest of our lives, while gulping down pills that made me tired, dizzy, and nauseated, and drained our finances. I knew Jackie would stick by me and sacrifice her time to be my caretaker, but what kind of life would that be for her? She still had her health. It wouldn't be fair of me to ask that, and any husband worth his salt wouldn't want his wife to suffer through that. I wanted to be there for my family and be healthy, but I knew if I had any chance of getting better, then I was going to need a miracle. So I prayed to God that night with everything in me. And what happened over the next few days is one of the most bizarre and eye-popping experiences of my life, but would ultimately lead me to the breakthrough I so desperately needed, and the one you need as well. It was now my 8th day in the hospital, and because my condition wasn't improving, the doctor on duty decided to have me transferred to a special ward. And that's where I met Dr. Akito Nakamura, who was at the hospital on a 2-month transfer from Japan. He was there for a medical conference and to give lectures about his medical practices from back home. A highly respectable man, he was very friendly, with a great sense of humor, considering English wasn't his primary language. Every night he would come to check on me and we would talk while the rest of the world slept. He told me all about his upbringing in a tiny and remote mountain village in the Japanese Alps, and that his village was considered the birthplace of ancient Japanese medicines, some of which we still use today. We became very close over the next few nights, maybe because he felt bad for me, but either way, I became an open book and told him all of my fears and how I couldn't get over the side effects of my hypertension meds. I was on 3 of them and they were crushing me daily. I had no energy, blinding headaches most days, extreme fatigue and dizzy spells, plus I was still mildly hypertensive. I explained all the research and remedies I had tried to get my blood pressure under control naturally, but everywhere just led to a dead end. Almost like someone didn't want me to find this information, and that's when he chimed in. He said, "John, you're right. They don't want you to find out the truth." I just looked at him perplexed because I was joking, but Dr. Nakamura was serious. He said, "John, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, and I could get in serious trouble for even sharing this with you, but they don't want you to find the missing piece of the puzzle to get your blood pressure under control without their medications. I've seen this up close and personal." "What do you mean?" I asked. "Well, John, I've been to more conferences on high blood pressure than you can count on both hands and feet. And at those conferences, the drug companies hold lavish dinners and wild parties for all the doctors. Many times they give away front row tickets to sporting events, concerts, cars, and even high-paying speaking gigs, all in the hope of persuading them to use their drugs, even if they're dangerous and even if they don't work. Well, here, take a look for yourself," he said. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, 94% of doctors reported some form of an intimate relationship with the pharmaceutical industry, and according to ProPublica, a watchdog group for the industries, doctors who receive industry payments were 2 to 3 more times likely to prescribe brand-name drugs than cheaper, safer alternatives. It's disgusting, corrupt, and a big reason why I decided to come to America and risk not only losing my medical license, but possibly even my life for exposing all of this, he said. "You see, in the remote region of Japan where I'm from," he continued, "our population has the lowest rate of hypertension in the world, and as he told me more about the beauty of his home and the incredible health of the people living there and the ancient medical practices they've been using for centuries, I couldn't contain myself, and I interrupted him and told him about my story. I told him about my years-long struggle with high blood pressure and the horrifying moment of falling out in front of my family and closest friends. I begged and pleaded with him if he knew anything where years of failed diets, side effect-filled drugs, and traditional advice had failed me. And what Dr. Nakamura told me next completely blew my mind. Before I tell you how to instantly lower your blood pressure, strengthen your heart, and improve blood flow in just 10 seconds each morning, I need you to know why all this isn't your fault," he said. First, you need to understand the true cause of high blood pressure. If you look at certain cultures like ours in Japan, high blood pressure is non-existent. But here in the West, and especially in America, it's everywhere. So doctors try to say it's genetics, or it's from being overweight, from smoking, drinking alcohol, or eating too much salt. But at the end of the day, how is it that people who exercise and eat healthy still have high blood pressure? And they drop dead from heart attacks or strokes all the time? Doesn't add up, right? And even with prescription medication, the statistics still aren't on your side. According to one mega-analysis, after following 39,705 participants taking the most popular hypertension medication for years, they found the risk of cardiovascular mortality was still 40% higher for those taking meds compared to those who didn't. So it's not always your weight, genetics, lack of exercise, or diet. Remember, hypertension is non-existent in numerous populations across the world and wasn't even a term years ago, but now it's everywhere. All because of this right here, a tiny little hormone known as PLR15. I call it the true silent killer because, although it's needed in our everyday lives, too much of this one hormone could spell disaster for your health without you knowing. Our ancestors had this very same hormone in their bodies, but only now are we seeing it have such a damaging effect on everyday health. Why is that? Well, normal levels of this hormone are needed and keep you alert in times of danger, like fighting off a burglar, saving someone from a house fire, or in our ancestors' case, running from a saber-toothed tiger. The medical community categorizes this hormone, or PLR15, as one of 6 stress hormones we have in our bodies, like adrenaline or cortisol, but is likely one you've never heard about because until now has never been an issue. But because of the society in which we live in today, filled with everyday little modern-day stressors like raising a family, paying bills, being stuck in traffic, and more, this hormone is skyrocketing in the population, so much so, with 24/7 around-the-clock bad news coverage and overstimulation from cell phones and computers, we are even seeing a record number of young folks being diagnosed with high blood pressure from the spike in this hormone. You see, your body can't tell the difference between fighting for your life or fighting for a parking space. It just sees it as a stress, so when released around the clock, what this hormone does is turn your once flexible tube-like arteries into hard callous stone, which increases your blood pressure while forming deep cuts along the inside lining of your entire network of vessels. And the only way to patch these holes up is with sticky cholesterol. So over time, if nothing's done, your vessels will continue to harden because of this stress hormone, your blood pressure will continue to rise, and more damage will be done until there's a complete blockage. This is just a simple medical fact. He continued. According to Dr. Logan from the University of North Carolina, who published a study in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research, there's an obvious direct relationship between everyday stress we've come to get used to, the overabundance of PLR15 in your blood, the hardening of your arteries, and high blood pressure. What's sad is this doesn't happen overnight, but slowly over time starting in adulthood. The longer this goes on, the harder it will be to get your pressure under control, and according to the American Heart Association, this is called resistant hypertension because it's so hard to treat. Here, just take a look at this graph. The correlation's there. As this hormone has skyrocketed in the past 50 years, along with the growth of modern society, so has the increase in high blood pressure. This is the real culprit, unlike what the government and many doctors want you to believe, because it has nothing to do with sodium intake. For years, you've been pounding on the table about lowering your salt intake if you have high blood pressure, but instead, they've failed miserably as hypertension rates have skyrocketed. Your cardiac cells actually need sodium because it's an essential mineral, so by cutting it out of your diet, you're just making it harder for your heart to do its job. According to the Journal of Hypertension, only 10% of the population is sodium sensitive. So cutting out salt for the other 90% will only make their hypertension worse. That's why in the end, it's not a sodium problem, a weight problem, a lack of exercise, or genetic. It's a hormonal problem that no one would have told you. You see, lowering your blood pressure, improving circulation, and cleaning out sticky artery plaque isn't difficult to do. You just have to target the root cause of these issues, and all of your problems will permanently disappear, he concluded. It all makes sense. So how do I target the stress hormone? Where would I start? I asked in excitement. Dr. Nakamura then got up and poked his head out of my door and then started scribbling on a sheet of paper and handed it to me. This is why I'm here risking everything, John. You are the very first Westerner to know about this ancient formula, and I want you to see firsthand how powerfully healing it can be for you. My village has been using this formula every morning, and just now the research is finally catching up. It's a big reason why, over the generations, we've accidentally vaccinated ourselves against hypertension using the same ingredients in our day-to-day lives. So I'm sure they can help you too, he concluded. And with that, I thanked him for his insight, because for the first time in months, I felt hope, and I could see a future spent with all the grandkids we haven't met yet running around again, which brought a brief smile to my face, and then we said our goodbyes, and he got up and left my room. When I was finally released from the hospital days later, I could hardly wait, and as soon as I got home, I started researching this ancient recipe right away. Now, the first ingredient on his list was acai berry, which has been a staple in Japanese medicine for thousands of years, and just recently has been proven to significantly lower the pressure in your arteries. In one study, participants noticed an 11-point drop in the diastolic readings within minutes of consuming these powerful little berries. Another group lowered both their numbers, and even more so for those with diabetes, all because of acai berries' vasodilation properties. Not only that, this little berry has been found to dissolve years of plaque and prevent any more sticky buildup. But don't go spending your life savings on acai berries just yet, because the next ingredient on Dr. Nakamura's list was a powerful antioxidant also native to the plains of Asia, a nutrient-rich substance called slippery elm bark. In fact, many people don't know this, but slippery elm bark is one of the key ingredients found in some of the most popular blood pressure meds on the market. For example, in one study, 600 to 1500 milligrams of slippery elm bark was found to be just as effective as the drug atenolol at reducing blood pressure over a 20-week period. Better yet, this bark doesn't contain any side effects, and it targets the real root cause of high blood pressure naturally. Now, beneath that was the ingredient ginger root. In a 2019 study, researchers randomized people with stage 1 hypertension to take either 500 milligrams of ginger root every morning at breakfast, or 12.5 to 25 milligrams of captopril, a medication for high blood pressure. After 8 weeks, and here's the kicker, blood pressure was actually a little lower in people with stage 1 hypertension eating ginger root every morning compared to those taking captopril, and ginger root is 100% natural. Now that's powerful. Next up on the list was hyssop leaf. According to the Journal of Advanced Pharmaceutical Technology and Research, in one study with patients recently diagnosed with stage 1 hypertension, subjects were split into two groups. One group received tea twice a day with hyssop leaf, and the other group received a placebo. Can you guess the results? Yep. The group receiving the hyssop leaf significantly lowered their numbers by almost 10 points. But now I could see these ingredients were the real deal, and the excitement started to build up inside of me. Yet we still weren't done. After hyssop leaf, we had Aloe-Ferrex written down, not to be confused with aloe vera. Aloe-Ferrex is a rare and indigenous plant used in traditional medicine by ancient Japanese samurai. And what makes this tiny plant so special is its high concentration of hesperidin, which scientists have found play a strong role in preventing and treating hypertension. Studies indicate that hesperidin can help protect against hypertension in many ways, from strengthening blood vessels to reducing cholesterol levels, and has evidence of its potent blood pressure lowering effects dating back to studies done in 1939. And lastly on the list was papaya fruit. One of the major components of papaya fruit, periligon, was able to reduce high blood pressure by blocking the release of noradrenaline and relaxing blood vessel walls. Papaya fruit has also been used for thousands of years since ancient Egypt and ancient Roman times for various issues, but just recently has been found to exert strong antihypertensive effects on the body while also helping to improve circulation, relax your blood vessels, and even remove sticky cholesterol that can go up your arteries. After everything, I was so excited that I wake up Jackie just to share the news. It was late at night, but I needed to get this off my chest because I couldn't believe something like this even existed. I was just upset that my doctor, or any doctor, didn't tell me about this, or how certain individuals would try to keep this under wraps. So I wanted to get started ASAP because, according to the statistics, there was a good chance I'd suffer another heart attack, even while on those hypertensive meds, and the next one could kill me. So I began searching for those ingredients one by one, and the only place I could find everything was overseas. I would have had to buy each in bulk, test them myself, and then try to formulate them together. I wasn't a chemist, and the cost alone after totaling everything was going to be well over $4,900, plus 2.5 months until everything cleared customs. I didn't have the time or the expertise, so I went through my Rolodex of people over the years that I've come across while in the medical field, and one person stood out, Dr. Joseph Ross. He held multiple degrees and one of the smartest individuals I knew, and luckily for me, the latest research he was involved in had to do with cardiovascular disease, along with the rising rates of hypertension in the general population. I hit the lottery, I thought to myself. So when I called him immediately, he was on board. This is amazing, he said. We've always known that predominantly Asian countries have lower incidences of heart disease and high blood pressure. We figured it was their genetics, but didn't know these compounds were one reason why they basically inoculated themselves to hypertensive resistance. I have a vested interest in something like this because I have high blood pressure. My wife has it, her sister has it, and both my parents died from heart attacks associated with hypertension. But now with this special formula you were secretly handed, I think everyone has a fighting chance. You're a lucky guy, but let's take this to the next level because I have a few contacts in the manufacturing business that can help you, he finished. And with that, we were off to the races. And it was incredible because Dr. Ross took care of everything. And we ended up partnering with a GMP certified and FDA approved manufacturer right here in the States, which allowed us to take the original formula Dr. Nakamura shared and make it even more powerful using modern technology and recent medical breakthroughs. With their help, we increased the potency of the formula by over 150% and the absorption rate by over 359%, which meant nothing would be wasted, allowing us to bring down the cost while guaranteeing a 90-day supply to ensure my body would make the necessary adaptations to lower my blood pressure in just 2 tiny capsules in the morning. Now, individually, each ingredient would only lower my blood pressure by a small amount. However, when combined in the exact ratios that we now had, Dr. Ross believed the entire formula could lower the pressure in my body 5-fold, while simultaneously clearing out any dead plaque from my arteries. Yet despite this, he did warn me that I was the very first Westerner to try this new and improved formula, so I shouldn't get my hopes up. It was hard because instead of waiting 2.5 months like before, I only needed to wait 2 weeks until everything arrived. And once I got my package, I took my 2 tiny capsules like I was told with my favorite beverage every morning and just waited to see what happened. I thought it would take some time for the ingredients to kick in, but no, it was lightning fast. Within 30 minutes to an hour, I could feel the warmth of blood rushing through the tips of my toes, my fingers, and all my extremities, as if my blood vessels just began to reopen. It felt like my brain was working better, my focus was clear, and I had a heck of a lot more energy. Then I took my blood pressure like I did every morning and afternoon, and normally with the medication it would lower around 140/80, but that afternoon it had dropped down to 135/75. I took it again that night, and it was the same, which told me this formula was working around the clock. Then by week 2, I noticed I had another double 5-point drop, going from 135/75 to 130/70, knocking it down an average of 1 permanent point per day. And before I knew it, after the first month, my blood pressure had settled around 118/64. It was perfect, but more than perfect, it was bullseye, pristine. However, the biggest test came when I decided personally to come off all my blood pressure meds. I was so terrified and nervous that I was making a huge mistake, so I watched my signs and symptoms like a hawk, expecting my pressure to shoot right back up, but guess what? It remained the same, hovering between 117 and 120 for my systolic numbers and between 64 and 70 for my diastolic numbers. My resting heart rate lowered to 63 beats per minute, and the new circulation felt warm and energizing. Even my skin and complexion had improved from this increase in blood flow, as all my side effects from taking the 3 drugs had disappeared. Now, what's also great and not expected were the results Jackie experienced from the same 6-ingredient formula. Her doctor had been on her case for years about her mild hypertension, so she decided to give it a shot as well, and it lowered her pressure by over 20 points in just 21 days. However, the defining nail in the coffin was the checkup with my cardiologist. He took my blood pressure, and his eyes lit up again. He said, "John, I think the cuff is broken. Let me get another one." So he checked again, and it registered the same reading, 116/61. He asked me if I had lost weight or if I was exercising a lot, but I just told him the truth that I'd started taking this natural formula. And you know what he said? He told me to stop taking it despite it being safe and all natural while lowering my blood pressure by over 30 points, all because it wasn't prescribed. Can you believe that? I walked out of there so angry, but a small part of me expected his response. So when I got home, I told Jackie what happened and how this fueled me to get this same solution out into the world because I wanted to prove them wrong. And I wanted to give the millions of men and women the same chance that I was gifted to lower their hypertension 100% naturally. So I reached back out to Dr. Ross and I told him how I wanted to help others. And after my new friend Dr. Nakamura gave us his blessing, we all decided to test this same formula on over 1,425 men and women suffering from hypertension. We had men and women in their 40s all the way up to their 80s. Some were on medication, some were not. Some were mildly hypertensive, while others were severely hypertensive. We told them to keep taking their medications if they were on any, and enjoy this formula in the morning. We even had a few subjects who were pre-hypertensive, and they just wanted to get out in front of their rising high blood pressure. And within the first 14 days, we knew we had something special on our hands because the blood pressure of these men and women dropped by 1 point every day until sitting permanently within a better than healthy range. PLR15 levels dropped by 220%, and the average decrease in their systolic readings was over 24 points. And the average drop in their diastolic readings was close to 18 points. Now, not only did their high blood pressure come back down to earth, many reported having improved circulation and healthier joint mobility because of the increase in blood flow. Plus a lot more energy, which gave them the stamina to get through their day without taking breaks and naps. Many even commented about their libido coming back to life from the return of the blood flow. It was incredible the freedom these men and women now had. I mean, I just take a look at some of the Facebook posts and emails we're getting. Tom Baxter said, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure over 10 years ago, knowing full well that I'd be placed on medication for the rest of my life. And I just accepted it. I lost some weight, which helped, and I also cut back on salt foods, but even with the medication and these changes, my blood pressure still hovered right around 135/80 mark. Not bad, but not perfect. And then I came across this and I figured, why not? I'll give it a shot. Well, now my blood pressure readings are in the 120/70. I couldn't believe it. It was the icing on the cake that I desperately needed. Charlene Thompson posted on Facebook and said, "Both my husband and I have high blood pressure. We know the risks if it's not taken care of, so we've been trying to do everything to get it under control. We want to be around to watch our 4 grandkids grow up and maybe even have some great-grandbabies. That would be neat. We take a lot of vitamins, but never anything natural for our high blood pressure. In fact, we didn't even know something like this even existed, and I'm personally glad that I stumbled upon this video and solution. We both knocked our numbers down by 15 to 20 points, and we can feel it too. We have more energy, more stamina, and much improved circulation. Thank you, John." Michael Rayner emailed us, "My doctor's been on my case about my high blood pressure for years, until he finally had enough and placed me on meds to control everything, but I couldn't take the side effects. They made me tired and fatigued most days of the week, and I didn't even have the energy to keep up anymore. Then I read something that even with the meds, high blood pressure could still inflict damage on my body while not even taking care of my heart. That was until I found this, and now my blood pressure has been controlled 100% naturally. The side effects are gone. My heart is safe, and I'm hopeful for the future. Since my remarkable comeback, I've made it my life's mission to help others get the same relief I've enjoyed, and now with Dr. Ross and the team in my corner, I believe we have a solution that can help millions. That's why I'm proud to introduce you to CardioFlex, the first and only formula designed with the 6 core hypertension healers proven to lower PLR15 levels, slow down the wear and tear on your heart, and clean out your arteries while naturally lowering your high blood pressure within minutes. CardioFlex is the only formula filled with ingredients backed by scientific research, plus real-world results that guarantee to reduce your hypertension without any nasty side effects. All thanks to the high-tech extraction process used to certify its safety, purity, and potency, giving you the peace of mind that your heart and high blood pressure are taken care of morning, noon, and night. And you can rest easy knowing that everything is manufactured here in the United States inside an FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility, following the highest standards to ensure every bottle is free of impurities, toxins, and metals while being non-GMO, dairy-free, and gluten-free. The world has never seen a formula like CardioFlex, and it's a big reason why we consider this a special time in history, and why we're so excited for you to be here today. CardioFlex is so easy to use that reducing your high blood pressure will feel like you're cheating without having to watch your salt intake, diet, or exercise for endless hours like everyone else. And since these compounds hail from some of the most diverse ecosystems in the entire world, many people who have tried this exotic formula have reported an overall improvement in their health, like better blood sugar levels, stronger memory, and fewer aches and pains. Already, 118,427 men and women all over the world have enjoyed healthier blood pressure from using CardioFlex. And now it's your turn. Enjoy the all-natural and potent formula each morning and watch as your blood pressure decreases by at least 1 point each day, and better yet, you'll have this chance in the next 75 seconds. So don't go anywhere, because if you always believed that there was something out there that could lower your blood pressure without the drugs, something different, new and exciting, then today is your lucky day as you welcome this brand new chapter of your life with open arms and say, yes, I'm ready for CardioFlex to wipe out my hypertension for good. So before we begin, just imagine how much it would be worth to finally have a safe, gentle, yet powerful formula in your corner. Created and unearthed thousands of miles away, with ingredients shown in the scientific literature to reduce your high blood pressure, root out arterial plaque, calm inflammation, and heal your heart safely. To wake up every day bursting with energy and warmth from the improved circulation, as you notice fewer aches and pains from this increase of blood flow throughout. Think of how it would be like to restore your youth of your younger days when you had almost unlimited stamina and endurance to enjoy your favorite activities without slowing down or never have to watch what you eat or continue reading the sodium content on the back of every food label. Just imagine never becoming a burden on your family because high blood pressure has whipped away your independence and caused irreversible damage to your internal organs like your heart, your brain, and your kidneys. Just close your eyes and imagine all of this. Really feel what it would be like to enjoy all this so incredibly soon and never have to worry again. Can you feel the excitement inside yourself starting to grow? How much would all of this be worth to you? $1,000? $10,000? $100,000? You see, Dr. Ross believes I should charge 3 payments of $99 for all of this work that's gone into this formula, plus to make up for the rising cost of supplies. However, this isn't about money for me, and I know what it feels like to feel your health decay, to lose everything you worked hard for, and I hate to say this, but almost die, all because I refuse to listen to the warning signs that turn my heart into a ticking time bomb, and I'd be so sad if any of this happened to you. Jackie and I feel so blessed to have stumbled upon this life-saving formula from a man I may never see again. So despite the recommendations to charge you 3 payments of $99, and because I never want finances to be a reason someone doesn't get the relief they deserve, I'm going to knock off those payments for you today while supplies last. So for a single one-time payment of just $59, you can have a 30-day supply of CardioFlex today. Again, just for one-time payment. So that means there are no auto ship options, no weird billing or subscription fees either. Just a one-time payment for CardioFlex, and that's it. Now, before you order, I need to let you know that based on Dr. Ross's research, our own real-world results, plus all the peer-reviewed studies done on these ingredients, we recommend you use CardioFlex for a bare minimum of 90 to 180 days to guarantee your body fully adapts to the formula and keeps your blood pressure at a healthy, stable, natural level. So, to guarantee lifetime results, I'm going to let you order 3 months or 6 months worth of CardioFlex today at an outrageously deep discount on today's already special low pricing. And if you're smart and order 3 or 6 month supply, we'll also get 2 bonus books worth $99, absolutely free. Bonus number 1, the anti-anxiety formula. Learn the exact strategies that I personally use myself every day and learn from only the best experts to banish worry and lead a stress-free life. These strategies are proven to help your PLF 15 levels go down and your blood pressure low by managing anxiety and stress and avoiding depression. With this formula combined with the powerful and all-natural ingredients of CardioFlex, you'll never have to worry about high blood pressure ever again. Next, bonus 2, memory hack. With your brand new relaxed and healthy body comes a new mindset. In this book, you'll learn by enhancing your memory, you can improve multiple aspects of your brain function, thereby helping you to remember more, improve focus, and protect yourself from cognitive decline. You'll also be able to improve your ability to learn and store new information. This means remembering names better, improved brain function, and more. All of this can be learned, and in this book, you will find out precisely how to learn it and what to do with all that knowledge. All that and more are ready to change your health and life for good. I want you completely satisfied, so here's the deal. Buy 3 bottles of CardioFlex and we'll gift you the 2 bonus books worth $99 absolutely free. Or better still, buy 6 bottles, our most recommended package, and we'll gift you the 2 bonus books worth $99 for free, plus we'll ship the entire package out to you for free as well. Sound fair? This special discount's only for your eyes today. It'll be gone soon, maybe even today, once we run out of all the inventory we set aside for new customers. And currently, thousands are flocking to this video and scooping up multiple bottles. So once they're gone at this low price. Take a peek below right now. If CardioFlex is still available at these prices, then you'll find these 3 money-saving bundles underneath this video. Just click or tap on the package you'd like to order today, and a new page will open with your option using 256-bit encryption technology, which is like Fort Knox of internet security. Then just tell us where to ship your bottles, and we'll send CardioFlex right to your doorstep. Now we want you to know that you can only find CardioFlex here. It's not available anywhere else, including retail stores or Amazon, nor will it ever be. The retail price would be too high, so we just cut all the middlemen. Today on this page is your only chance to order this powerful blood pressure lowering solution for the crazy discounted price you see as long as supplies are still in stock. So there's no reason to waste another second. What you've been waiting for is right here, ready for the taking, so choose your favorite money-saving package below. Most of our savvy and successful customers order the 90 or 180-day option to guarantee their blood pressure is normalized and access the 2 free bonus books while saving extra money on top of everything else. If you're still a bit unsure whether this can work for you, I understand your skepticism, and that's why when you purchase CardioFlex today, you'll automatically be protected by a rock-solid 60-day money-back guarantee. I just ask that you try CardioFlex for at least 60 days and watch the formula go to work inside your body when you take your blood pressure readings. And if you're not overflowing with excitement from the drop in your numbers after the 60 days are up, feel free to email our helpful customer service team. Tell us what happened, and we'll be happy to grant you a full refund, even if you went through all the bottles you ordered today. Now, who's willing to do that? Nobody else yet. Yet that's how confident we are in CardioFlex. However, with all the success, real-world results, and the 60-day guarantee, many people who watch this video still aren't ready to make that small jump and fix their hypertension 100% naturally. So if this is you, please leave this page because there's only so much CardioFlex to go around at these prices, and we'll just be forced to give your bottles to the person behind you. But if you're ready to wave goodbye to your high blood pressure, then click or tap on your favorite money-saving package below to get started, and remember, there's no weird billing practices, subscriptions, auto ships, or hidden fees. We hate those scummy practices as much as you do. So please make your choice soon because this video is about to come to an end, which means you've come to a crossroad with just 2 decisions, both sending you down a path of 2 completely different outcomes. Please lean in and pay attention so you can make the correct choice, not just for yourself, but for your future and your family. Now, option 1 is to keep doing what the pharmaceutical companies have conditioned you to do, and that keeps you taking their medications despite all the risks and failure to truly protect yourself from a severe cardiac event or stroke. Because if you continue this path, there's still a good chance you'll have a future filled with more medication, side effects, doctor visits, and potential trips to the hospital, locking you into a never-ending black hole of struggle inside the medical system. Just imagine no longer having the chance to chase after your grandkids or watch them because you're too weak from the prescription meds, and what hypertension has done to your body. Or the lack of energy to even get up in the morning to get your errands done, to enjoy a nice night out with friends because your heart's so tired and your arteries are still so constricted that it's hard for nutrient-rich blood to reach the places it's needed most. Because even if you're on medication to treat your hypertension, the problem is not being fixed at the source, which allows this silent killer the opportunity to still strike at a moment's notice and send you to the floor in agonizing pain in front of others, or worse, your family. Now, I hate to be harsh, but it's the truth. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason, because not only will it strike without a moment's notice, it can affect every square inch of your body, from poor circulation that accelerates the aging of your skin and wrinkles, to its grip on your kidneys, which can send you into renal failure and dialysis requirements, to your eyesight, which can decay rather quickly, leaving you blind, to your brain, where hypertension is the second leading cause of dementia and memory loss. Just imagine losing every precious memory you've ever had because of high blood pressure. Your first kiss, your first love, your wedding, the birth of your kids and grandkids, that once-in-a-lifetime vacation you took. All of it can be wiped clean like pressing the delete key on your keyboard. Now, I know you don't want this, but that's how serious high blood pressure can become despite taking medication to lower your numbers. It's not a foolproof option, and many times it does nothing to fix your hypertension because it fails to treat the issue at the source. So do you really want to risk all this just to save some money? I doubt you do, because you're still here watching till the end. That tells me you're serious about your future and highly intelligent, because you know there's another option, a better option. Now, I've unlocked the door to this better option right here. You just need to push it open and walk through. Now, 1 bottle of CardioFlex will put you on the path to a healthier blood pressure number, while 3 bottles are when you really begin to see things change in your daily readings that stick with you all day and night. And 6 bottles guarantee you'll always have this blood pressure lowering solution in your corner without an interruption for the next 6 months, as you enjoy a pristine reading that would leave others completely jealous while saving additional money on top of everything else. Now, just imagine finally breaking free from a life filled with hypertension, a life free of medication, extra doctor visits, cardiologist appointments, and all those prescription costs. A life free of side effects like extreme fatigue, dizziness, and ED. You have the ability to take back control over your health and your future when you say yes to CardioFlex today. You have nothing to lose, so give yourself this risk-free gift today. I think you'd agree that you deserve this. So click or tap on your favorite money-saving package below and enjoy CardioFlex just a few days from now. Remember, based on all the real-world success and research, 90 to 100-day bundles are the best options below and come with the greatest savings and results, plus free bonuses. There are no hidden fees, subscriptions, or auto-ship billing, just a one-time fee. Already, 118,427 individuals from all walks of life and from all ages have enjoyed relief with CardioFlex. Now it's your turn, but this video is coming to an end, so please make your choice below risk-free for the next 60 days. Just choose your favorite option below and enjoy these savings while supplies last. Thank you for watching. This is John Harris. God bless.